My dear friends, brothers and sisters, listen. When everything around you looks like failure, when the evidence says you've already lost, when people tell you it's over, that is the moment faith speaks victory. Because what you declare today shapes what you live tomorrow. There are seasons in life when defeat seems unavoidable. You pray, but answers feel delayed. You work hard, but results refuse to appear. Dr. Yonggi Cho taught that circumstances may speak loudly, but they never speak the final word. God's promise always has the last voice. Defeat is not proof that you are finished. It is often proof that you are being prepared. When you speak victory in the middle of loss, you are declaring your future, not denying your reality. Your words are not empty sounds. They carry spiritual power. When you constantly say, I'm done, I can't make it, your soul begins to believe it. But when you say, this is not the end, strength rises inside you. Faith is tested when your eyes see defeat, but your heart still believes in victory. God never asked us to speak what we see. He asked us to speak what we believe. When you speak victory, something shifts within you. Your mind begins to think differently. Your spirit regains courage. And slowly, the situation starts responding to your faith-filled words. Dr. Cho often said, miracles are born in the mouth before they appear in life. When finances look empty, declare, God is my provider. When your body feels weak, declare, healing is working in me. People may laugh when you talk about victory in the middle of struggle. They will say you are unrealistic, but you are not speaking facts. You are speaking destiny. Remember this, God never chose you for defeat. If you are still breathing, your story is not over. If you are still standing, victory is still possible. Silence gives defeat permission to settle in. But when you speak, faith takes authority. Stand in front of your struggle and declare, I will not lose. What you speak today becomes what you walk into tomorrow. What you confess in pain becomes your testimony in time. So even when defeat is visible, let one word come from your mouth, victory. There will be days when defeat speaks louder than hope. The report is negative, the door is closed, and the path ahead looks dark. In those moments, silence feels easier than faith. But faith is never silent. Faith speaks even when the voice shakes. Faith declares what God promised, not what circumstances threaten. Victory begins the moment you refuse to agree with defeat. Defeat tries to define you by your current condition. It says you are finished because you failed once. But God defines you by your calling, not your crisis. When you speak victory, you align your words with heaven. Your mouth becomes a tool of faith, and slowly, the grip of defeat starts to weaken. Words are seeds planted into the future. Every negative confession plants fear. Every faith-filled confession plants strength. When you speak victory, you are sowing hope into tomorrow. You may not see growth immediately, but seeds always work in silence. One day, what you spoke will rise. The enemy wants you to talk yourself into quitting. He knows if you stop speaking faith, you will stop expecting change. But when you open your mouth and declare victory, you interrupt his plan. You remind your soul who is in control, and fear loses its authority. Speaking victory does not mean ignoring pain. It means refusing to let pain decide your future. You can cry and still declare faith. You can feel weak and still speak strength. God honors honest hearts that choose faith. Anyway, victory is not denial, it is trust. Many people wait for circumstances to change before they speak positively. Faith works the opposite way. You speak first. and change follows. This is how miracles are activated. Your words create an atmosphere where God can move. When everything says, give up, victory says, stand firm. When doors shut, victory says, another way is coming. Faith-filled words keep your spirit alive. They stop despair from settling in, and they keep your vision clear, even in chaos. Your environment listens to your voice. Your mind listens to your voice. Even your heart listens to your voice. When you speak defeat, everything inside you agrees. But when you speak victory, everything inside you rises to fight again. God often waits for you to speak before He acts. Not because He is weak, but because He honors faith. Faith is released through confession. When you declare victory, you give God permission to move in your situation. Defeat is temporary, but your words can make it permanent. Victory may feel distant, but your words can bring it closer. Every declaration of faith shortens the distance between promise and fulfillment. Keep speaking, even when nothing changes yet. Your past failures do not disqualify your future victories. They only prove you survived. When you speak victory, you step out of regret and into purpose. God never wastes a broken season. He transforms it through faith. Silence allows fear to grow. Speaking faith cuts fear at the root. When you declare victory, fear has no place to hide. Light always overpowers darkness. One word of faith can shift an entire atmosphere. Victory does not start on the battlefield. It starts in belief, and belief is expressed through words. What you repeatedly say becomes what you eventually believe. Choose words that strengthen, not weaken your faith. Even when no one supports you, your words can support you. Even when no one believes in you, your confession can carry you forward. God hears the voice of faith. He responds to those who trust Him against all odds. There is power in declaring victory out loud. Not just thinking it, but speaking it. Your voice reminds your soul that God is still present. And where God is present, defeat cannot remain. Every great testimony begins with a risky confession of faith. Someone dared to speak victory before it happened. They chose belief over fear, and God honored their courage. You may feel surrounded by failure, but you are not surrounded by defeat. God surrounds you with His promises. When you speak victory, you agree with His protection, and His power begins to work on your behalf. Do not let disappointment write your story. Pick up the pen with your words. Speak life into what looks dead. Speak hope into what looks empty. God specializes in responding to faith-filled declarations. Victory is not always immediate, but it is always possible. When you keep speaking faith, you stay positioned for breakthrough. God moves suddenly, but He prepares slowly. Your words prepare the way. The pressure you feel is proof that something valuable is forming. Diamonds are created under pressure. When you speak victory under pressure, you reveal spiritual maturity, and God trusts mature faith. Do not measure your future by today's struggle. Measure it by God's promise. When you speak victory, you lift your eyes above the storm. And storms never last forever. Your words can either lock you in defeat or unlock your deliverance. Choose wisely. Faith-filled words open doors no human effort can open. God responds to alignment, not complaints. Even if victory feels far away, keep declaring it. Distance does not cancel destiny. Delay does not mean denial. God is still working behind the scenes. When you speak victory, you train your spirit to expect good. Expectation attracts miracles. God often moves where faith is anticipated. Keep your expectations alive through your words. Victory is not for perfect people. It is for persistent believers. Those who refuse to stop speaking faith, even when nothing makes sense. God honors endurance. Your confession today will become your confidence tomorrow. Speak strength over weakness. Speak clarity over confusion. Speak victory over defeat. Heaven records faith-filled words. Angels move at the sound of belief. When you declare victory, you activate spiritual help beyond what you can see. Do not allow one loss to silence your faith. Every setback is temporary when God is involved. Speak victory until your situation aligns with your confession. God never fails those who trust Him openly. Speaking victory is an act of trust. It says, I believe you even now. And that kind of faith moves mountains. So stand up in the middle of the struggle. Lift your voice above the noise of defeat. Declare what God has promised, because victory does not belong to those who see it first, but to those who speak it first. Your confession today will become your confidence tomorrow. Speak strength over weakness. Speak clarity over confusion. Speak victory over defeat. Heaven records faith-filled words. Angels move at the sound of belief. When you declare victory, you activate spiritual help beyond what you can see. Do not allow one loss to silence your faith. Every setback is temporary when God is involved. Speak victory until your situation aligns with your confession. God never fails those who trust Him openly. Speaking victory is an act of trust. It says, I believe you even now. And that kind of faith moves mountains. So stand up in the middle of the struggle. Lift your voice above the noise of defeat. Declare what God has promised, because victory does not belong to those who see it first, but to those who speak it first. Defeat wants to sit in your thoughts and build a home there. If you allow it, it will slowly drain your courage. But when you speak victory, you evict fear from your mind. Your words create boundaries the enemy cannot cross. Faith becomes your defense system. Many people underestimate the power of one declaration. One sentence of faith can hold you together on your weakest day. When strength is gone, words of belief keep you standing. God listens carefully to the language of trust. Your situation may not respond instantly, but your spirit does. The moment you speak victory, your inner world shifts. Peace replaces panic. Hope replaces despair. And clarity replaces confusion. Speaking victory trains your heart to trust God, not outcomes. Outcomes change, but God remains faithful. When you base your words on Him, you remain stable even in uncertainty. Faith anchors you when everything else shakes. Do not wait for perfect conditions to speak faith. Perfect conditions never exist. Faith is proven in imperfect moments. Victory spoken in chaos carries the greatest power. Every challenge you face has an expiration date, but your words can extend it or shorten it. Complaints keep you stuck. Faith moves you forward. Choose the language that leads you out. God often allows pressure to reveal what is inside you. When victory comes out of your mouth under pressure, heaven takes notice. God responds to faith that refuses to bow. Even when your prayers feel unanswered, your words still matter. God hears every declaration of trust. Silence is not rejection. Sometimes it is preparation for something greater. Victory spoken in private is just as powerful as victory spoken in public. Speak faith when no one is watching. Those private declarations build public breakthroughs. Your voice can change the atmosphere of your home, your work, and your life. When you speak victory consistently, negativity loses influence. Peace becomes dominant, and faith becomes natural. Do not repeat what fear is saying. Fear exaggerates defeat. Faith speaks truth calmly and confidently. Choose which voice you will echo. Every time you speak victory, you remind God's promises to your own soul. You strengthen your identity. You remember who you are and whose you are. Victory does not require loud confidence. It requires steady belief. Even a quiet declaration of faith carries power when it is sincere. God responds to genuine trust. When defeat knocks repeatedly, keep answering with faith. Persistence in speaking victory wears down resistance. Eventually, breakthrough replaces struggle. Your confession determines your direction. Speak defeat and you move backward. Speak victory and you move forward, even if slowly. Progress begins with faith. God honors those who speak faith without proof. That kind of belief shows deep trust. And deep trust attracts divine intervention. Do not borrow hopeless words from people who have given up. Protect your mouth. Guard your confession. Your future depends on it. Victory is often closer than it feels. Speaking faith keeps you alert and ready. God moves suddenly, but only those expecting victory recognize it. Your words today are shaping your testimony tomorrow. What you declare now will be remembered later. Speak something worth celebrating. So even if your hands are tired and your heart feels heavy, keep speaking victory. Faith does not quit. And neither should you, because God always finishes what He starts. So when defeat stands in front of you and tells you it's over, lift your voice one last time and declare faith. Speak victory when your strength is gone. Speak victory when the door is still closed. Speak victory when the answer has not arrived yet. Because faith does not wait for proof. It creates it. God is not moved by what you see. He is moved by what you believe. And belief is released through your words. One day, what you are speaking in tears will become what you are celebrating in joy. The battle may be real, the pain may be heavy, but defeat is temporary and victory is promised. So stand firm, keep believing, keep speaking. Because the victory you declare today is the testimony you will live tomorrow.